Hey guys, I'm Jacqueline.
And I'm Marcella.
And we just got back from the movies. We just saw The Darkest Minds. Finally, we have been wanting to see this movie for a while. Like, I remember being so excited during when production started, and
yeah, because this movie was in production for quite a while. So we've been waiting for this movie for a long time, and we read all of the books by Alexander Brackett,
which are
fantastic. We love them so much. It's one of our all-time favorite series.
Yeah, it really is. And so we were really excited to go see this movie, but like we go into all YA adaptations, our expectations were pretty low.
Yeah, you keep your expectations low with YA, because a lot of times it doesn't, when you have a book to movie adaptation, it always just, it's not going to be the book.
It's not going to be the book.
So you can't have that kind of expectation. So we knew that.
We knew that going
into it. And I think overall, we did enjoy the movie.
We had fun with it. We really did. We thought it was a really fun movie. And like, we had known, because we were at BookCon, we spoke to Alex about the movie, and she had told us that like, the music wasn't in it, and that was like our big thing with it. We were like, oh my god, like, because you guys have read the books, the music is so important to the whole, like, it just makes the story. Like, her playlists are so great, and like
in the movie, the soundtrack was not good.
No, it was not.
Sorry, whoever was in charge of the soundtrack, but it was just your typical YA movie pop soundtrack. So yeah, that's a little upsetting. I understand that it's like rights of the music and all that. That's why they couldn't do it. But that was a big blow not to have the music. The music in the books is one of the best parts of the book. It really is.
I really wanted Wouldn't It Be Nice by the Beach Boys in there, but you know, that's okay. So we knew that going into it, that the music wasn't going to be a thing in it. But I think overall, like, she had told us, like, this is basically the best way to describe it. The heart of The Darkest Minds is there.
It was. The heart is there, yeah.
The heart is there, but it's not the book. And like, we had a lot of fun with it. We thought like the casting was good, the filming of it was really good.
I thought the characters were good. Some relationships like we
wanted to be fleshed out more.
Yeah.
It was kind of rushed, because you have to think, like, you only have so much time in a film as opposed to a book. So that was, again, expected. But I think we still wish that it was a little bit more fleshed out, certain relationships that we'll get into more in the spoiler section.
Yeah, there's things we liked, things we didn't like. Things we liked. We're gonna get into all of that.
We had some issues, but we did enjoy it. We thought it was a lot of fun, and we definitely recommend go checking it out. Go watch it, and go read the books, because the books are fantastic.
Yes, go read.
I think rating-wise, I would give it
probably a C+. I would say.
C+. It's a solid C+, I would say. That's really all that we want to say non-spoilery wise.
Yeah, so go see the movie and then you can come back.
Yes! The way that the movie started off, we got like really excited, because it starts off with Ruby and she's 10, and you have this whole thing going, and you see like the newscast, and they're talking about all these kids that have like the disease, and the kids are dying
off. It was actually very book.
It was really good.
It was really great too.
And then to have, when she erases her memory from her parents, and she's like so scared, and she's like crying, and then the people come and they take her, they put her on the bus, and we get to Thermon, and
I thought that was really good, especially with the keychain. I thought that was a really big symbol, like in the movie, and I don't remember that being in the book, so I really liked this keychain and how she had it, and then when she went back to her house, she throws it on the ground, and then Liam picks it up,
and then at the end
Liam has it on his backpack. So I really liked the usage of the keychain.
I love that,
and like how much it meant to Ruby, and then how that ended up being given to Liam as like a part of her that like is still with him, even though his memories of her are not.
I know, I love the keychain. I thought the keychain was so great. The whole beginning with the parents I thought was so good. And I love when you hear like the voiceover of her saying like they weren't afraid of the ones who died, they were afraid of us, the ones who lived. Like I literally like cheered in theater. I'm like, yes, that's The Darkest Minds. I was so excited, ready to go.
One of our biggest problems, and this is a problem that we had when we first saw the trailer, was the eyes. The eyes.
The eyes. Like, I get it that it was to show the audience, like, they're using their abilities.
Because you have to think, in the book, there's a lot of things in the book with, like, this kind of movie where you have powers, where we're just inside the character, like, Ruby's head, so we know when she's using her powers. But I still don't think the eyes was necessary. I mean, you could clearly see these powers, like, you could clearly see the characters are using them in the movie, and you could see by what they're doing what like color they are, I guess, with what power they're using. If they're blue, you could tell by what they're doing. You don't really need, there's not that many powers. I mean, you don't need like all their eyes to be glowing like every 5 seconds.
Oh yeah, it was all the time.
It just doesn't give.
No, and what was strange about it is like, didn't people see it? Like, for example, there's a scene in it where Ruby grabs Rob's arm, and she's clearly using her abilities, and like her eyes are orange. Like, wouldn't he see that? Like, I don't know. I just feel like
it's almost like it was only for the audience to say, and it wasn't actually in the movie. It was a little weird.
Yeah, or like when Ruby would use her abilities,
characters wouldn't see it because
in front of like Chubbs and stuff when they thought that she was a green.
Well, we kind of found out that Chubbs had known her already.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I feel like shouldn't Ruby have known, like, oh my god, my eyes are glowing, they're gonna know who I am. She really didn't care like that.
Yeah. When she first gets there, they have like this pyramid, and it's like, and it was a great way of like showing like, okay, these are the colors, like these are the danger ones, these are not. But like her eyes are like sitting there glowing.
So that system of the colors was made up by them. So how are they making their eyes glow?
Unless they really tested them all to see before making the chart.
Did they make all of them, like when they like did they like experiment on them when they got there and like injected something to make their eyes glow? Like,
or they saw that their eyes were glowing and then they made the chart. But the thing is,
no.
Did they even all see it? I don't know, the glowing eyes. That's just, again, we're being a little nitpicky. Like, I was also Lamb, like, please, why didn't they put a leather jacket on him and, like give him Darlin? And that's a straight book
so some of Lamb's personality wasn't there because he's like Southern in the book, so it was just very different.
Yeah,
but I thought that the actor,
I love the actor
did a great job. I think that all the actors
were great.
Really did great. Yeah,
I think all the actors.
Zoo
were
really captured Zoo. I thought Chubbs was really funny.
Yeah, Chubbs was good.
And Liam, I thought was really great too, and so was Ruby. Like,
the cast was great. I thought that they had they had good chemistry together as a cast. Like, you could tell, like, when they were all
family
friends.
Aspect of all of them, when they're like sitting there eating the Twinkies, and when they're in Black Betty, like stuff like that, like you could tell the
heart was there. Like, that's like, the darkest mind. Like, they're all friends, and you could tell, and you could see
they all have each other. They're all orphans, like they said in the movie.
Yeah, and I love that family moment that they really gave them all. Like, that was really great. At the end, it was like, we're family, remember? Like, it was really good like that. We do wish that that Liam and Ruby's relationship was developed a little bit more, because like,
it was just strange because I feel like they had that potential. The chemistry was there.
It was really there.
But it almost wasn't like, they didn't explore it enough to have it live up to that potential between the two of them. And
well, they had this whole thing going that we kept like looking at each other for, and we're like, what are they doing? Ruby refuses to touch anybody, but she'll like hug them and stuff, but she won't like have like direct like skin to skin contact,
which was a problem with Ruby, and
she's afraid of. It's like she's afraid.
That's where it really hurt their relationship, because they didn't really get to that intimate point when they were able to like really. I mean, eventually towards the end of the movie they did, like they were hugging and stuff, but I feel like they didn't get up to the point where at the end when he had mentioned like that he would tell her he loves her, I feel like they weren't there yet. It was just kind of like, whoa, now really? So,
yeah, like I just wish that they made them have like more cutesy moments that are in the book. Like
more cutesy, less corny.
Yeah, a scene that you get of them in the meadow. We're in Twilight now. It was like
we're in the meadow.
There's like this really emotional scene in a meadow, and like the camera's spinning, and there's like this pop music in the background.
They're almost kissing, and it's really slow motion. It's just very teen, it was very corny, very
corny for us a little bit there. But I did like I did ship them. Like, I love the scene when he goes in with the socks. I thought that was really good. When he
that I liked. That was actually from the book. When he brought the socks, and I thought that was really good because like that was that's the example of like an awkward scene.
It was awkward, but so cute.
But it worked.
Yeah.
And then there was another scene when like she was like going to leave. She's like, I'm just gonna leave you. I'm just gonna leave. And she goes to walk away, and Liam used his powers on her. And like she can't move, and it's just like he floats a Twinkie to her. It's just like, what the hell?
Have a Twinkie.
Like, it was just like, that was awkward in a bad way.
Yeah, like
that was like a cringe moment.
And I also really love the scene after the socks when they're in like the motel and she comes out like in the dress and he's like, I haven't seen a girl in a dress in a long time, and they have like this story like, oh, I'm going to prom with like the football player, and then he just pulls out this thing. Yeah. That was really adorable, and I was like, oh my
there
God,
was like a flirtiness there, so we thought that like, okay, this is going good, it's building up.
Yeah, I love that.
But it kind of like fell flat, the relationship, to me at least. I feel like that could have been worked up a little bit more to get to the end, because when we get to the end scene and it's so great, I felt like it should have been a little bit more.
I remember reading the ending in the book like sobbing, and like that scene in the movie was actually one of my favorite scenes of the movie. Like I loved Liam's speech, like when he's like, you and me, inevitable, and he starts telling the story about like the volleyball, and he's playing with Chubbs, and then she comes, and like I love that whole thing. Like, that was so good. She's like, I'm gonna finish the story. Like, it was just so heartbreaking, but so good.
Heartbreaking.
But yeah, like, I just wish
feel like it would have been more heartbreaking.
It would have been more heartbreaking.
Felt it more if their relationship had gotten to that point.
If we got to see them kiss before that. Yeah. Or like hold hands. Like, there's a really great scene in the book when they hold hands for the first time. Like, I just wish that we got more of that development, but I think that
it just wasn't rushed. It wasn't,
I feel like they didn't have the time, honestly, because there's so much that happens in this that it's like, it's hard to try to put all these relationships in, and I think that they did a great job, like, trying to put together the friendships as well. I love Zoo's friendship with Ruby, and I love Ruby's friendship with Chubbs. Like, they did a great job, like, with what they could.
Like the group dynamics and all of that.
The group dynamics were fun, like I loved, obviously I loved like the stuff that they threw in for like all the people that read the book, like Betty, and like talking like about Betty, and like there's a lot of quotes from the book too, like,
oh yeah, there was.
Yeah, even the book that Ruby was reading to Zoo, like, it was really good. But then they had some corny moments. Like, there's a scene when they were
the worst scene for me
in the mall.
Oh, that was another one.
When they were in the mall,
we actually started laughing because we didn't know what was going on. Because the people come in and they have like these masks on, and obviously it's people who are from with Clancy, whatever. But they come in and they're
they make Ruby and Liam fall on each other
together. Like,
then they go up.
They're flying up and down, and we're looking at each other like,
and then
are they serious?
And then they fly,
they zoom away, like we're like in like Quidditch, and they just zoom away together, and they're going bye.
And they like knocked things down. It was like they were like bowling. Like it was just weird.
It just felt strange. Like the way that they were positioned. Funny. It was like obviously it was done to get them to like stay on top of each other. So it was just really funny. Like, we were laughing. That didn't feel right. Yeah, that scene was just that scene, and then another scene between the two of them that really was just cringe. Like, I internally was just like, was when they were at when they get to Clancy and they were in. They were before they danced, and he like uses his powers to like reel her in, which I didn't like that when we got in the trailer. Didn't like it in the movie. Like I just didn't like. I still cringe thinking about that.
I think it was supposed to be like really hot and like really like fly. But the conversation before that didn't help.
The Harry Potter. You'd be Harry. Oh, I'd be Hermione. Or no, Ginny.
Well, Harry and Ginny end up together.
Oh,
so,
well, like, it's like awkward. Oh god. Like, the dialogue there was just
they were referencing Harry Potter because you wish you could be Harry Potter. You wish that you had that great of an adaptation. That conversation was just weird.
And put that in with the reeling her in, it was just like
too much. But then I love the dance scene, even though I wish they were dancing, so wouldn't it be nice?
Because once they were dancing, like that was good. That was good. Like they were making contact. She wasn't afraid to touch him. That was good. Another thing that was a little strange to us was that we get these flashbacks of Clancy, and now these are flashbacks of when he was the first survivor. So it's very clear, they're making it clear to us that he was the first survivor that was tested on.
So this is 6 years ago.
This was 6 years prior. Clancy is the same actor getting tested on in the flashbacks.
He's literally like the same.
That didn't make any sense unless we like missed something and we just weren't
unless like, I mean, they didn't really try to make him look like older, but like maybe since it was only 6 years, maybe he was like 16 there. and then he was like in his 20s. Maybe that could work if they did it like that.
Ruby and all them, I don't know.
But like he would be really like a lot older than Ruby, because Ruby was 10 and this was like an adult, like this was a teenager getting tested on. Like I don't know, like the timeline.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just noticed I said somewhere something like
he had to have been a kid when he was getting tested on, because it's only on kids.
Well, when I read the book, I pictured it as a kid, so that's why I thought it was strange that they used the same actor. But it could be that Clancy was just older, because he was in charge of like this whole like East River, and you end up realizing that he's really like the big villain of the story. And we actually said that first of all, I really liked, I always like this in the book, I think it's so important to Ruby's character, is her relationship with Clancy, because Clancy's so evil, but he's another Orange, so it's always like what Ruby could have been, you know? And like he even says to her, he has that line at the end of the movie, he was like, I can make you the perfect Ruby.
I actually really like that. I think Clancy was really
was good.
Clancy was good. The actor was likable, really good.
But like
he was like charismatic too, because Clancy in the books, he's very charismatic, Clancy. So I thought that the actor did good acting charismatic, but also being like a little bit like too much, where it's like almost you're like wary of him, and it's like like something's off about him. So I thought that was good. He did have that like really creepy feel, especially when he's like in her mind, and then he's like on top of Ruby.
Yeah, I said to Marcella when we were watching the movie, I'm like, I don't know if they're gonna do that, because I know like that was like a big thing in the book. I'm like, I don't know if they're gonna do it, and I'm surprised that they did it, but I'm really happy that I think they did a really good job with that too, because you know, Ruby learns a lot from Clancy about like how to control her mind, like how to control minds and use her ability and stuff. That's why like I feel like that relationship was really important, and I think that they did a good job like showing like how terrible like he actually is. And yeah, I thought it was great. But like the big dramatic thing of like her sitting there with Clancy, and she's like, I've never told anybody this before, and he sees inside her mind like the story of her parents, and you have Liam like in the door listening in. I loved this scene when she runs crying to Liam. It was very book, when she's crying to Liam and she was like telling him like what happened, and then he's like, and then she shows it to him. I love that. It was so good. And like they did such a great job like directing wise with that scene, that like I'm so happy like they didn't try to like force him into like and showing like the audience like Liam seeing it. Like they feel like the way that they did that was really good. Like the acting was fantastic in that moment, because he was like, I'll kill him, like, and you just knew that Liam saw what happened. Like they didn't need to show it, you know? I thought East River in general looked really good. Like I really liked the setting that they had of it, especially where it was like how this happy place.
Especially how exactly. It looked like this happy place. And looks can be deceiving, because I love how Chubbs was very aware of like how it wasn't a happy place, because he's a green in the movie, so he's very, very smart, and so he catches on right away. Like he's kind of like, I don't like this place. It's exactly like the camps. Like we have we eat when they tell us to eat. We do work. Like this is not what it is. And so he knew it like all along. And then finally, when like everybody else realizes and tells him that he's leaving, he's like, yeah, thank you. So
exactly.
That was really good.
Yeah, I really liked Ruby's friendship with Chubbs as well. Like when they were sitting at the dock, and like they were talking. Like he was like, don't you ever like just want to go home? And he's like, my dogs, my books. Like I liked that. Like that was a really nice scene. I love this.
Exactly.
Scene.
You really felt like they were a family. That was one of my favorite parts of the movie. You felt like they were family. And I love Liam's relationship with Zoo, especially when we see him take down the fence, and you can see Zoo's on the floor, and he grabs her, and so I love that they showed
I love that they showed them getting out of
he's very protective over Zoo.
I love that when they showed them Caledonia. And I liked the whole scene with Ruby and Chubbs when they were in the mall, and like they figure out what that code was together, and you hear it on the radio, like if you can hear this, you're one of us. And like that again gets me so excited, because that's Darkest Minds right there. Like so it was really cool. And yeah, I love the friendships in the movie. I really did. One thing that I wish was a little bit fleshed out a little bit more was Lady Jane. Like I think that obviously Gwendolyn Christie did a great job, but I feel like the whole story, like they just quickly like tell you like, yeah, you know, she has a bounty on us, and it's just like there.
I feel like we could have used one more scene before they did the whole thing of like having her walk in the forest and like she like leaves them. I feel like we should have got like her after them a little bit more. It's just like,
well, because that's a huge, like that
I feel like she goes after them a lot in the book, so this was just very quick.
Yeah, they quickly wrap that up. Although I love the scene when Ruby is like tells her to go walk in the woods, and that's when the big reveal, oh my god, she's an orange. When they all realize that, even though, you know, her eyes are glowing orange the whole movie, but yeah, like when they finally realize. And then I like the scene when she's in the car and she hears them talking about, oh, we have to get rid of her.
Oh, well, then there's like we're talking about Black Betty,
and that was also in the books. I like that. Like that was really good. And
yeah, because it's like, oh, you think, like, you're sitting there, you're like, oh, like they're really gonna like get rid of her because of that, and then it's like, no, like that's her family.
Yeah, so, it was really nice. I really liked that.
Like they all have each other's backs.
Yeah. Like, let's talk a little bit more about that ending. Obviously, like I said earlier, I really liked when Clancy was like, I can make you the perfect Ruby, and like I thought it was really cool.
Yeah, when that like whole standoff between the two of them was really good. And
I thought that was
like
great.
when they were like controlling the people with the guns.
That was cool because you could tell like, there was like a
running around behind them. Yeah, it was like a mind battle.
The problem was when. Okay, so Clancy says, like, I can make you the perfect Ruby. And then she sees, like, the helicopter, and she's like, I kind of am. Like, she had, like, a really...
She says, I kind of like who I am, but the delivery of it and, like, the place, it ruined the whole
moment for me. I just feel like that line was just dumb. Like, I feel like they could have done something better
It didn't fit in there.
And, like,
it just fell flat. Even, like, the way she said it.
Even the way that she said it with, like, no emotion. Like, it was just straightforward. Like... I don't know, like, I just felt like that line was just not necessary. Like,
I feel like a lot of the lines could have been, like,
and better. Then these children come raining down, and it's like, oh my god, it's the Reds. And then you have, like, these fire-breathing dragon children. Like, they open their mouths, and, like, the fire comes shooting out of their mouth. What the fuck? Why were them, like... They were dragons. Like, literally, like, the government made these kids into dragons. Like, why were they shooting fire out of their mouths?
Supposed to come out of their hands.
Why didn't they make it come out of their hands? It would have been so... It would have been so much more natural if it came out of their hands.
Strange.
I don't know why it came out of their mouth. They were, like, throwing up fire. It just didn't work. I'm like, doesn't it, like, burn them? Like, what is wrong with these kids? Like... I just feel like that was really weird the way that they decided to do the Reds. Like, it was really cool seeing the Reds. Like, oh my god. Like,
it was funny now.
But it was funny. Like, I feel like it could have been such a cool scene of, like, the fire shooting out of their hands, because that's really, like these are abilities, you know? Like,
why out of their mouth?
Why out of their mouth?
Who decided that?
Not Alexander Bracken, that's for sure.
So we had the whole scene of Chubbs, who's her, and Ruby just needs to save Chubbs. So she presses the button and she calls Kate to come. It was really sad when Liam comes rushing over and he's like, let's go. Like, we can get him help somehow. Like, it'll be fine. And Ruby's like, we can't handle this. This is really severe. And she puts, like, all those emotions that she feels, like that fear that she felt for the League, like, because of what she's been told. She's like, we need a grown-up here. And I feel like in that moment, it's such, like, an emotional moment of, like, I'm a kid. Like, we're kids. We can't handle something this severe. We need help. Like, we need help. We need, like, something stronger than us and what we could do. And so when they call the Children's League, and Liam, who's really, like, scared of going back to the League, stays with them still, and he's like, you're my family, like, we're not going anywhere, like, fine, like, and then the League comes, and I wish that they explained the whole Rob storyline a little bit more in this movie, because it was just kind of brushed aside. Like, we knew he's a bad guy and everything, but there was nothing, like, she just tells him, like, get out. That's why I feel like that scene when she's just like, you're an asshole. Like, no,
he's really bad.
He, like, killed kids. Like, he's
a monster.
He's a monster, and I feel like that should have got called out more. Like, unless it's because it's gonna carry into the next movie. If they do a next movie, I don't know.
They do a next movie, but yeah, and then Kate. I really enjoyed Mandy Moore in this movie, but, like, I said to myself, I'm like, you can't, like, hate Mandy Moore. Like, I don't know, like, she was really, like, the casting was great, because it's Mandy Moore.
I feel like in the book, though, like, you go back and forth between, like,
if you trust her,
and I feel like here, I just completely
trusted her.
I 100% trusted her, and I feel like we were supposed to not trust her because of the whole Rob thing as well, because, like, they're together, and that's why she, like, ends up running off in the first place. I couldn't feel that, like, distrust.
Because it was that we were supposed to. Yeah, you feel it a little bit when she's like, you know, Liam can't stay here. We can't trust Liam. Like, sorry, that's not gonna happen.
Yeah, like that right there. It was like, she's nice, but she's not that nice because Liam's not welcome. So yeah.
Yeah, and when she goes in the room and she hugs him and then she's crying and then I love that scene. That was one of my favorite scenes.
That was like word for word with the story. I really enjoyed it. The only thing I think that was felt a little misplaced was the love part.
The last issue that we have is like, I feel like it could have ended with like Liam like running off and then the shot of Clancy like coming out and you see all the people like kneeling towards him. Like, that was really great. And they definitely set it up for another movie because that is how the book ends, and I feel like I hope they do another one, but we'll see. I mean, if not and you only saw the movie, now's a great time to read the books. The problem was all of a sudden, so like we're in this house, right?
So the League is in a house.
The League's in a house. We walk outside and we're in a stadium. Like, why are we in a stadium? And all these kids are prepared. They all have this paint on their hands. They're all ready to go and do the dramatic hand up movement thing. Like,
and it's weird because the League is not like, the League's not really a great place.
No, the League is not a great place if you read the book.
All these kids are like ready to go with their rebellion.
Like, it's like a rebellion, and they made the Children's League come out like as this like safe haven, and they were right all along. But again, that's just because we've read the entire series. But yeah, all these kids, they have their hands painted, and then
like,
you have
Ruby, it's time.
Ruby,
she smears the orange paint like it's like, yeah, like it's wartime. And
then they all follow.
They all go. We're in the Hunger Games. Like,
literally,
was that like
the Hunger Games? Yeah, exactly. Rue came out. I think they were trying to show that there's Clancy and then there's Ruby. Like, there's the two different types of oranges, like going against, like, Ruby has the Children's League, and then you have Clancy like with like the government and all the people that he's working with. Like, so, but it just didn't fit, and I think it was really like a corny way to end the movie, like to show like, I mean, like it wasn't corny to show like the orange, but like on her hand and like there's like zoomed in shot of it, like I don't know.
A lot of colors in this movie.
Like, it was just strange that all of these kids were, why were we in a stadium when we were just in a house? Like, there was just like a bedroom where we sent Liam off. Then she walks outside after saying goodbye to Liam at the door, and we're in City Field.
Like, we didn't actually get to see the actual League, like where all of them are. Because obviously the whole League is not in a house. That was just like a safe. That was just like a place that they said that they had, like as like a safe like place or whatever. Yeah. But we didn't get to see the actual like facility of the League, and then all of a sudden we're just like in a stadium. Like, there's no stadium in the League.
So yeah, those are our thoughts really overall. Like, we had a good time seeing it. Like, don't get us wrong. It was fun. I'm glad that I went to go see it.
I think that the characters, like, the heart of it was there.
The heart was there. The cast was great. I mean, we love Alexandra Bracken, so we're happy like that this got done for her, and we hope that Never Fade gets done. And we did really enjoy it. We had a lot of fun with it, and I do hope that they make another movie. Let us know what you guys thought about this movie. Did you guys feel like the corniness that we did?
Let us know what you thought if you haven't read the book, or interested if you have read the book.
If you have read it, we'd love to know how you felt.
Yeah, so let us know your thoughts. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe for more movie reviews to come.
You can also follow our Twitter and Snapchat. We are at City of the Field.
Thank you for watching.
Thanks for watching. Bye!